Now, starting with the design, and they both feature that Samsung's clean FE design. The S25 FE still keeps the IP68 water and dust resistance, but now it has an enhanced armor aluminum frame, the same one that is on the S25 series. And importantly, it's thinner at 7.4 millimeters versus 8 millimeters on the S24 FE. It's lighter too, at 190 grams versus 213 grams. And going to the colors, the S25 FE comes in several colors, such as the navy, which is my favorite color, icy blue, jet black, and white. And on paper, while the S25 FE doesn't seem like that big of a change to the S24 FE, in my hand, I have to say, not only does it manage to feel lighter, it is also sleeker thanks to those slimmer bezels all around, especially the chin. Yay that we no longer have those ugly bezels that we had on the S24 FE. Now, taking a tour around the phone, and up front, we've got the 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X display, and on the right side we have the power and volume buttons and nothing on the left side. Going on to the bottom, and we have the USB-C port, speaker, and 2 mic ports on the S24 FE, while the S25 FE has only 1 mic port, but it's also moved the SIM card tray from the top to the bottom, so there is a change here. And going up top, the S25 FE only has the secondary mics, while the S24 FE has those and a SIM card tray that has been relocated. Going on to the back, and now there is a matte feeling on the back of the S25 FE versus that glossy that is on the S24 FE. And if you ask me, I prefer matte over glossy, so this is definitely a win for the S25 FE in my opinion. I can tell you, even apart from my opinion, that it just feels much more nicer to the touch and is definitely not a grease monkey anymore. And this is a case where you really have to hold it to believe it. Now, speaking about features, let's talk about power. Now, the S24 FE had a 4,700 milliampere battery, which has been upgraded here to 4,900 milliampere on the S25 FE. The upgrades continue with the charging speeds going from 25 watts on the S24 FE to 45 watts now on the S25 FE, which is fantastic. I've been begging for this. We also get Qi 2 wireless charging on the S25 FE, which is great, especially if you can get a compatible case to use the magnets properly. And all of this is fantastic news if you're someone who does not want to wait 50 years for their phone to charge, especially when you're in a hurry and your Grab, well, or Uber is downstairs and you have to get it, but then the phone just will not charge quickly. And going under the hood, the S24 FE has an Exynos 2400E, while the S25 FE has an Exynos 2400. So copy my assignment and change a few things. You will not be wrong, but not quite. So the Exynos 2400 is the same that you find here on the S24 and S24 Plus from last year, and on this year's phone, the Galaxy Z Flip 7 FE. And while the S24 FE's Exynos 2400E and 2400 from the S25 FE is practically identical, the E variant here is lower clocked, which means that you're getting slightly better performance on the S25 FEs now. Now, how much more performance will you be getting is not groundbreaking, but that higher performance means that it now also has slightly higher power draw compared to last year. Now, I'll be honest with you, I would have expected more, especially maybe a chip from a more recent phone, like the ones that went in the Z Flip 7, but maybe that's just spoilers for next year's version. So next year we will be getting the Z Flip 7's processor in Galaxy S25 FE. I hope not, but yeah, I would have expected more, but you know what? It's still a flagship processor. Thankfully enough, the S25 FE adds a 14% larger vapor cooling chamber on this phone compared to the S24 FE, which had a vapor cooling chamber that was better than the S23 FE. Now, that S23 FE, that was Lucy's favorite toy in hell, because that phone got really hot. So I'm glad it got better in the S24 FE, and on the S25 FE, I'm sure it's even better. So that is definitely something that I'm happy about. And according to Samsung, it also has a liquid thermal interface, I believe is what it's called, to help with the cooling. I don't know, they might as well call it dewdrops from heaven, provided it keeps the phone cool. I'm happy with that. Now, Now, all of what that means in reality is that you just get a bit more performance here on the S25 FE, whether it's your gaming, whether it's in the camera, whether it's in your more intensive apps, which is always a good thing. And you know, I just had to jinx it by saying good thing, because now coming to memory, and we still have that same paltry, that same puny, that same extremely nauseating 8 gigs of RAM that we had on the S24 FE on the S25 FE. And at this stage, I expected better. Now, if you're just using it day to day, I would say, to their credit, it performs okay. There's RAM Plus if you want to, you know, put your foot in the waters there of using your memory as RAM. Samsung does provide the ability to use that in RAM Plus. But I would have just preferred a more hardware solution as opposed to software, which is a great segue into, well, the software. In fact, it's the first S series phone, in case you're keeping track, that actually launched with One UI 8, because the only other phones that have launched with that were the Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7. Well, this is not a Z series, it's an S series. That is in comparison to the S24 FE here that launched with One UI 6.1, and it was then upgraded to One UI 7, and it's in line to get One UI 8, though I'm not sure if it's in the first wave of devices. FYI, that will be September 19, which is the date Samsung gave me. I'm not sure if it will be in the first wave of devices. I hope it is. But yeah, this phone will get about 5 more years of software updates. So you have nothing to worry about here when it comes to the S24 FE. But you get it on day one with the S25 FE, which you cannot beat day one, man. And visually, if I'm looking at One UI 7 and One UI 8, there's not a lot of differences I can see, at least visually. Under the hood, I know there were so many things that Samsung changed, but just visually, I cannot tell the difference. Now, going to camera, and this is where it's more of the same, because all the back cameras are literally the exact same thing. There's no difference here, which is a theme that Samsung has followed now in their previous S24 to S25 Ultra and the A55 to A56. But on those phones, I was a doubter. I was not a believer at all that software could actually be better, or in this case, make better photos from the same hardware. But I have to eat my words because it did. So I'm going to hold off my opinion for now until I can do a comprehensive camera test, which you should definitely be subscribed for. And you will see it when I see it, if the camera actually changed, like the actual photos you get. I remember that the S24 FE has some of the best organic looking photos that I've taken. I really like the feel that I get from the photos on the S24 FE. And I hope that is continued and even improved on the back cameras on the S25 FE. And going to the front is where you actually see the changes here. Now it's been upgraded to 12 megapixel, which is in line with the S25 series, and it's also about 20% wider than the S24 FE's selfie camera. And you know, I don't know, man, can you really see it on screen right now? I'm not sure, but it's there. And if you want better selfie camera performance, well, you got it, baby. For video, the S24 FE and S25 FE already support 8K, but just in 30 frames per second. And just on the main camera, if you're going to be recording UHD 60, which is 4K, it's still it's saddening me to say, you can still only record it on the 1X camera and a crop of the 1X camera, which is the 2X. If you want to be able to record 4K on all the cameras, you have to step down to 30 frames per second, which is so sad that it's not been changed here on the S25 FE. So that is still a limitation that exists for video here on the new S25 FE, just like it did on the S24 FE as well. As for how the video is going to perform, well, stay tuned for my comprehensive camera review, but I like the video on the S24 FE, so let's see if it, you know, at least keep up to what I already expect. And there are 3 constants in life. It's death, it's corruption in Nigeria, and it's Galaxy AI. Now, just like you had on the S24 FE, you get all the full suite of Galaxy AI features on the S25 FE as well, which has some of my favorite: circle to search, it has transcript assist, it has note assist, it has your bank account assist for when you become a member here and support me or even buy me a cup of coffee. So it has all of those features, and Galaxy AI is fantastic. I love using it, and I believe there is like a deal where when you log in here for the first first time. If you don't already have a Google AI Pro account, you actually get like a couple of months of Google AI Pro on the S25 FE, which is fantastic. Gemini, especially with its large context window, is fantastic and it's something you should try for yourself. And in practice, we all know about Galaxy AI by now. If you don't know about Galaxy AI, let me know and I'll probably make a video if there's enough. And if you're a supporter and you leave a supported comment, maybe I'll even check it out. But yeah, Galaxy AI is here. It's fantastic. It's great. Now coming to my first impressions overall, and I would say for build quality, it definitely feels lighter and thinner. I mean, thinner, yes, but lighter for sure. And it's not something I thought I would be saying because it doesn't feel like a lot, but it actually does. It actually does. Next is charging. I'm so very happy. I'm elated that there is now 45 watt fast charging on the S25 FE. It's fantastic going from that 25 watt here, which was just torturous on the S24 FE. I'm glad that got an upgrade. Battery life as well, battery capacity, but I really didn't notice bad battery on the S24 FE, but it's great that there's even bigger battery now on the S25 FE as well, while becoming thinner and lighter. Isn't technology amazing? And with the improved thermals, the vapor cooling chamber, and all of that, I can also imagine that you can also have sustained performance for longer here on the S25 FE, which is great. Cameras though, I will hold off my judgment for now. When you see my camera test, please click on it so you can know what I feel then. But for now, I'll just hold off. And where I think I really wanted an improvement, apart from the 3x telephoto camera, is the 8 gig of RAM. Please, Samsung, give us something. 10 gig, 9 gig. Habibi, give me 8.5 gigs, I'll even be happy, Like 8 gigs is just not enough, man. Please, please, Samsung, please. So now coming to the most important part of this video, which is that, which one of these should you go for? I would say go for the S25 FE if you want that bigger battery, you want a thinner phone, that a new selfie camera, if that is what you are into, the Qi 2 wireless charging, the faster charging speed, and just an overall refined design, especially with those really, really shrunk bezels. I would say go with the S24 FE if you're a deal hunter. You don't mind having a slightly older phone, but for one where you can get it at a really good price, because again, this phone is just, I would say 70 to 75% of this phone anyway. So you will not be missing out much. But in the design area, that's for sure, you'll definitely be missing out, especially this nice back and this blue color. Doesn't it look fantastic? But if you're not actually caring about any of those, then if you can get this at a good deal, then why not? This is still a fantastic phone. And there you have it. That has been my hands-on comparison with the S24 FE versus the S25 FE. Now this S24 FE is one phone that I really, really liked. I really enjoyed it. I think I made about 8 or 9 YouTube videos about this phone. So this one is definitely one that I love. I'm still going to keep it for when the S26 FE comes out, so I can make that comparison video so you know it's not going anywhere. And I'll probably make like a 2-year later video so that you definitely know it's not going anywhere. So that's been great, but I also look forward to all the videos I'm going to make about the S25 FE, all the comparisons. I mean, this is one, all the camera tests, all of the camera comparisons. So please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. Speaking of, I appreciate you making it all the way here. You are amazing. Please pat yourself on the back for me, please, right? And if you like what I do here, if you like my content, if you like my art, because everything is content now. What is content? Discontent. Well, consider supporting me here, whether it's on Patreon, whether it's a YouTube membership, whether it's buying me a cup of coffee, whether it's just leaving a comment, whether it's just being the best version of yourself that you can be, because the universe ceases to exist without you. So you are the universe. You make the universe happen. So if that's all you do as well, that is also permitted. But no matter what you do, please make sure you text me when you get home so I know you got home safe. And watch out for tapirs, because they're actually bigger than they appear. And until the next time, I've been your Captain of Awesome. This is Geekception. I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye. And thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. Now, this video has taken me about 2 weeks to make, primarily because my wife was sick. I was briefly sick for a while. I've just been out of commission, but since you made it here, I'm happy to launch my new typeface, which is called Logo Bold, and I'm sure you've seen the handwriting in the video that I just made, the video you just watched. And if you're a channel member, I'm going to upload that so that you can just download it and use it on your computer. But yeah, this is just a labor of love. Is one where I remember when I used to be between the age of like 11 and 17. I grew up in Iyanalogbo in Ogun State in Nigeria, and I used to write a lot because I was a very quiet kid on the outside, but on the inside it just never stopped. I just kept thinking, and I just, I feel good that I've finally been able to bring my handwriting to life. And it's just like a tiny thing, like you can see right there. It's like a tiny change, but it makes like such a huge difference, and I recommend it for yourself as well. And if you want me to make a tutorial video about how to do this, I'm more than happy to oblige you. But other than that, thank you so much for making it all the way here. Put hashtag typeface so I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Please tell me some of the things you're excited about, some of the things that you're happy about, some of the things you want me to check out, and I'll gladly go check them out. And until the next one, don't forget to stay awesome. All right, bye.